And oh my gosh, the little cow plant terrarium. It's so cute. Hey guys, my name is Mike and welcome to my YouTube channel, Jet Set Simmer. This is actually my very first YouTube video I've ever made, so please guys, go easy on me, okay? But I'm super excited to kick things off with this build especially. As we all know, The Sims just released a new stuff pack, the Paranormal Stuff pack, earlier this week. And I was super excited to see all the new items that came with this pack. So I decided, why not make a build? And why not make a speed build of it? Meh? I don't know. I have been stuck at home a lot lately, which I'm sure we all have been given the current situation happening in the world right now. However, this has definitely opened up doors of opportunity for me to fall back into my addiction of playing The Sims 4. I have been an avid simmer since the first Sims game came out in the year 2000. I played through Sims 1, Sims 2, Sims 3, and now I play Sims 4, and I'll most likely continue to play Sims as they release more games into the future. But I've definitely fallen back into my addiction of playing The Sims since I've been home so much this past year. I recently just got furloughed from my job, and I'm kind of in the steps of returning, but also might be furloughed a second time, who knows. I've been looking for other jobs, but it's sticky. So since I've been home so much, I've definitely turned to playing The Sims to kind of occupy my time and to keep myself from going stir crazy from being stuck at home. With that, let's jump into this build, and I'll explain a little bit more of why I decided to create this YouTube channel as we go. With this new Paranormal Stuff pack that was just released earlier this week comes a lot of fantastic new build items. To be honest, some of the best build items I've seen released with a Sims game ever. And these items actually remind me so much of custom content that I have downloaded for my game. So the fact that the Sims team is actually building items that we actually love and want to use is so amazing. So for this build, I definitely wanted to utilize a lot of these new stuff items in this pack. And I decided I was going to jump onto this bandwagon because I know we've seen it being overdone, especially with the release of this game, but I decided to make a New Orleans style home. However, let me give you a little rundown about this home in particular and what makes it different than other builds. Also, did you guys see EA and Maxis actually reached out to another simmer, Dr. Ashley, asking for her to build a new haunted house to be released with this stuff pack? If you haven't seen it, it's that little pop-up that shows up when you first open the game after downloading the Paranormal Stuff pack. And to be honest, that build is beautiful. And actually, if you haven't seen her speed build of that house on YouTube yet, you should definitely go watch it. She kind of explains the creative process and working with Maxis to build that new haunted house. And it's super cool to watch. I don't know if you've ever been to New Orleans. I've been to New Orleans many times due to my job, but also I've gone personally. It's a beautiful place. Actually, the first time I went, I was like, meh, it's not really my favorite place to go. It's cool, but that's also because I stayed in the French Quarter area and didn't really go out of the French Quarter area. However, I've been many other times and gone out of the French Quarter area, and it is a beautiful place to go. My boyfriend used to live there and used to work right on Bourbon Street. And so when we met, I actually told him New Orleans wasn't necessarily my favorite place to go. And he was like, oh my gosh, I gotta take you and really show you New Orleans in a different perspective. And so we went and absolutely fell in love with New Orleans. It's an absolutely beautiful region of the United States. And if you haven't been, I definitely suggest you go once things open back up in the world. So a little bit of geography about New Orleans. The most touristy spot is the French Quarters, and it is absolutely beautiful. The architecture is inspired by French colonial and also a little bit of Spanish. It's really cool. There's a lot of Creole vibes there. The food is fantastic. However, when you go out of downtown, it kind of changes a little bit, and there's a lot of different areas that are very different architecturally. So if you move out of the French Quarters, you will also go into the Marigny, and that's kind of similar to the French Quarters, but also different. It's kind of hard to explain. I have another build that I might post on YouTube that definitely shows a house you would find in the Marigny. Who knows, maybe I'll get to it. However, back to Dr. Ashley's build, that type of build is a house you would find in the Garden District of New Orleans. And the Garden District is uptown of downtown or the French Quarters. And it is kind of like a wealthy area of New Orleans. And that's why you see those grand houses with the wraparound porches and the very beautiful columns and that very like beautiful colonial style architecture. However, the build that I'm doing is technically called Second Empire, and you can definitely find these all throughout the United States in many different areas. However, you can also find these in the Garden District of New Orleans. But this house in particular is a little smaller than what you would find in the Garden District. So this is more of in between downtown and the Garden District. So like just right on the edge of uptown. It's got that grand vibe at the top, but also that simple vibe at the bottom. The bottom actually looks like a house you would very much find in the French Quarters or the Marigny, and the top absolutely looks like a house you would find in the Garden District. So this house is very versatile. You could find it in multiple areas of New Orleans. Anyway, you're explaining too much about this. Get back to the build. What you see here is I'm working on the little garden in front of the house, and I had so much fun with this. I love plants. We have so many plants. Like you could see, like, oh my gosh, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plants, 6. We got 6 plants in our bedroom alone. We've got so many other plants in our living room. I can't keep track of how many plants we have. People keep bringing us new plants, and I'm like, oh my gosh, we have no place to put this new plant. Please stop giving us new plants. Anyway, I keep going on these tangents. Back to the build. So as far as this little garden in front of the house, I tried to put plants that I've seen in New Orleans. Of course, we have a very limited selection on The Sims, but I felt like I did a really good job at figuring out these tropical plants to place in front of the house. The house is finally coming together. I tried to work on the outside the most to really get the curb appeal correct. I put a bike in front just because I thought it was cute. It kind of adds to this vibe. That mailbox that you see in front of the house is not a working mailbox. So I actually put a working mailbox, one of those little apartment ones, right next to the door a little later on into the build. Now we're going inside, and I struggled a lot with the stairs. I had this vision in my mind. I wanted this beautiful staircase with like greenery and plants, but this build was way too small for a staircase, and especially since I put the wall level at the highest level. And so I really had to give up on that vision. Maybe I'll do that in another build later. And I decided, you know what, maybe I'll try going a different route and put a ladder in this build. And so that's what you see happening here. I put the ladder. I was like, okay, now how do I make the ladder? I don't want the ladder to be in the middle of the room. That's so tacky. So I put a little room around it and a door, just one square tile. And I tested it, and it actually works. Your sim could go up it, which is amazing. And so I figured, you know what? This is the perfect little closet to lead you up into the attic. And so downstairs, I decided that I did a bedroom. The living room and kitchen were kind of one room. You have a little tiny entryway and then a bathroom. And upstairs is where you see the attic. And that's where I figured I'll make all the spooky vibes in the attic with the seance table and the voodoo doll. And downstairs, I wanted to kind of go with that cutesy vibe using all the new stuff items. So let me talk a little bit of why I decided to make this YouTube channel. So like I've already explained, I've been stuck at home a lot lately, and I've been watching a lot of simmers on YouTube lately with their speed builds and their let's plays and their challenges, and I thought to myself, I want to be a part of that. I want to do that. So I don't know, this is just a hobby. This is just something I'm doing for fun. I don't even know if anyone's going to watch these videos, but if you're watching, thanks for watching. As far as a job, I'm a flight attendant actually, and so I'm usually traveling all around the world. However, given the current situation in the world, I was furloughed in October, so I have been home a lot lately. But I decided, why not occupy my time playing The Sims, making builds, and sharing it on YouTube, and kind of being a part of this sim community. But I also thought maybe this YouTube channel could have the opportunity for me to share some of my vlogs about being a flight attendant and traveling. I don't know. If you'd like that, let me know in the comments. Obviously, I'm not traveling anywhere right now, But once things open back up, once I'm back at my job, like I definitely can post some of those videos if anyone's interested. However, that kind of explains why my name is Jet Set Simmer. It kind of merges the two worlds into one. So I promise, I really tried to make this build just base game and paranormal stuff pack items. However, I kind of veered off that goal really early on into the build because of the plants alone. I needed to use some of these tropical plants that came with Island Living, that came with Jungle Adventure. I don't know how to say it. It's Jungle Adventure. It's got all the jungle vibes. Anyway, something in my heart, my plant-loving soul, needed to use those plants. And so I promise on a different build, I will do just base game and paranormal stuff items. These couches. Let's talk about these couches. Oh my gosh. The fact that this came with the game is so nice because it looks like custom content, but it's not. And I've even had a few people ask in some of the screenshots that I've posted on like Twitter or Facebook, like, oh my gosh, is that a custom couch? No, it came with the game. It really has the blanket and pillows on the couch and those chairs. Oh, I love it so much. So yeah, I tried to go with this style in the house, in the living room. It's very cluttered and very compact. There's no TV or anything, so if you do play in this house, you're going to have to find ways to get your fun up. Or you could just add a TV later. I don't know. I felt like it didn't fit and like physically. And oh my gosh, the little cow plant terrarium. It's so cute. I love that aspect so much. I don't know if I put that more than once in this build. I know in other builds that I've done that obviously I haven't posted, I've put the cow plant terrarium like 3 or 4 times in the house. You can never have enough cow plants. That's all I'm going to say, okay? The bedroom. Oh my gosh. These little wall decals that came with the vampire pack with the cracks and the little ripped like wallpaper details, I loved. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to use it in this build because I feel like a lot of the houses in New Orleans are very old. And maybe, you know, this is a house that's just kind of like starting to become run down. It's not fully run down, but like just starting to. So you see a little bit of the wallpaper tearing and the cracks on the wall. I added in some, like a tiny little book because I realized I didn't have a bookshelf and I don't know where I was going to put a bookshelf. So there's just this little book thing that's on the kitchen counter. You could use that to read books. But yeah, as you can see here, as I'm kind of furnishing this house, I definitely veered off the base game and paranormal stuff pack item use only, like big time, because I definitely used a lot of stuff from the vampire pack. I've definitely used a few items from the Island Living pack, like I don't know. I've used a lot of different stuff in this build, so it's not really going to be a build that you'll want to download if you only play with a few packs because it kind of covers a lot of packs. But as you see here, I'm now finally working on my most favorite part, the attic. The attic of this build is so, it's so cool. I like wasn't sure if I was going to love it, but I actually ended up really loving this attic. So I wanted to definitely have the seance table. There's a little hangout spot up here, kind of a reading nook with the window upstairs so you can look out and, you know, see everything going on down outside. And then I was like, you know what? This is an attic. It doesn't look like an attic. So I added some boxes. So you have like the seasons box so you can change the decorations, you know, whatever for the seasons. But then I also put a few of the boxes, like the storage box items and some decoration box items. I changed the lighting a lot inside the attic just because like the bright lights were just, it wasn't giving me attic vibes. So I changed the lighting to purple and it's so much better, definitely more paranormal. You can see there that I finally added the actual working mailbox right next to the front door. And now we're going to the back. The back, I realized, oh, there's a backyard, but no way to get to the backyard because I didn't put a door at the back of the house. And to be honest, I really was like not interested in redoing the whole back of the house to add a door. So I figured, why not add a little graveyard. Now, this graveyard is not accurate to New Orleans at all. New Orleans is built on this ground that is slowly sinking. It's all on like marsh and wetlands. And so for the graveyards, a lot of the graveyards are actually like above ground mausoleums and like little, grave sites. So like your caskets aren't actually buried underground. However, it's really hard to do that in The Sims in such a small little area. Like I could have used, really, I should have gone back and used the new platform feature, because I think I could have built like a platform as, the grave site. But to be honest, like, it's fine. All right, so let's jump into game and let me show you the final product. So I recorded this part before, but when I went back to edit, I realized that half of the video was missing. So here we are, we're just gonna do it real quick, all over again. Let's jump into this build. So here is the build. And like I said, this neighborhood fits the New Orleans style perfectly. And I kind of would be interested to renovate these other lots here in this neighborhood just to fit this New Orleans style of the house that I created, because I think it would just look really cool. Like the base game builds are definitely New Orleans style and they're okay, but like if I were to redo them and utilize all of the other items in the other stuff packs, I mean, I think I could really create a really cool neighborhood that has major New Orleans vibes. But here is the outside of this build, and I absolutely love it. Like, I think it just came together so well. Like I said, this mailbox is just a debug item. It doesn't actually work as your mailbox, which is why I added this mailbox, this drop-in mailbox up by the front door. So that should definitely work. But like I said, I really enjoyed putting together this house, and like all of these tropical plants in the front. Oh my gosh, I love it so much. But let's go inside and check it out. So let's go inside. The first room you walk into is this entryway, and there it is, the famous cow plant terrarium. I did put this in multiple spots in this house. I think I also have another one in the kitchen, but yeah. I just put a mirror in here and very simple dresser. I think it just makes a really welcoming entryway. And as you walk in, you have the living room and kitchen right here. And I really wanted to fill this room up with clutter. Like, it's very cramped, and I feel like that is so realistic. And as you come in here, we've got just a simple kitchen. I use the Jungle Adventure stuff pack kitchen items such as this fridge and this range, and I think it tied it in really nicely. Like, I think New Orleans always has very like spunky colors, and it's just very unique. And so I really tried to get that vibe in this kitchen with the teal and the orange. Let's check out the bedroom. So here is the bedroom. As you walk in, you've got another little dresser with some clutter items. I think some of these items are from the vampire, and then other items are from this new paranormal pack. But I love this bedroom. I feel like it's very gothic, and I feel like it fits the New Orleans vibe so well. And then here is the bathroom. It's just your simple, basic bathroom. And the attic is actually probably one of my favorite parts of this entire house. Like, I don't know, I just really love the attic. As you come up the little ladder, you will find a lot of clutter items, and I tried to make it very attic-y vibes. So random grandfather clock, honestly, I don't know how you got it up there. Good luck getting it down. And my favorite part is the seance table section. Like, I feel like the seance table is such a fun addition to gameplay, and so I wanted to make this attic really, have that paranormal spooky vibes, and I feel like the seance table definitely adds to that. So all of the seance ceremonies and rituals will be done up here in the attic, which is so spooky and so cool. And then, of course, got to fill it up with, all these spider webs. And so this isn't really a graveyard you would find. Let's see if I could try to build a graveyard that you actually would find. So a lot of it, I try to use this platform tool. Yeah, okay, I think this could work, because this totally looks similar to what you would find in a New Orleans graveyard. I had so much fun building this house and utilizing this very cool architecture style of Second Empire. I don't know, it was so much fun. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe if you want to see any more. And also, introduce yourself in the comment section. I want to get to know you guys get to know me. I want to be a part of the Sims community. It's just really cool, and like I would just love to be a part of it. So thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. But yeah, I'm actually inspired to renovate the rest of the lots in Willow Creek because I feel like there's so many different styles architecturally in New Orleans. It would be so cool to try to build all those different styles in Willow Creek and have a more accurate New Orleans vibe in this neighborhood.